podcast. My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. That is with two O's. Filling in for Will. I almost had his Twitter handle.
I was
He
about
is
to
the one
say.
that's winning. I was gonna say my
Well,
name
that
is
sounds
Will.
familiar.
Bear with me, guys. This is my first time hosting this live stream. I'm controlling everything on the screen, so hopefully I don't fuck this up. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jared McCauley, aka Mac on Twitter. You can find me there at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN. And thank you guys for joining Jackie and I here today. It's going to be probably a little bit of a short episode, but it's our second time, joining up with AZ Sports Underground, so it's exciting. You get to see my ugly mug, her pretty face.
My ugly ass face.
Talk about DHop a little bit, and so why don't we just jump into it? Why waste any more? What are you drinking tonight, Jackie?
Oh shit!
Uh
Cheers! It's a 10% alcohol
oh.
fruit punch sour, very delicious local Maryland beer. I'm about to crack this open right now and pour one out for our boy.
Is that 24 ounces or
Hell yeah!
10%? 24.
Some big boy shit
You
right here.
yeah this is gonna be fun here for the next 45 minutes. But seeing Jackie start up here and then halfway through. And then by the time you finish, that, you're like, hold on, I gotta go pee. I'll be back.
I know, and then my bathroom's like right there, so you might actually see me go pee at some point.
I got a Coors Original, nothing crazy, but I will drink to that. And so I got, for every one of those you drink, I got to drink like 4 to catch up. So I think that's what the alcohol content and the ounces equate to. So if you finish that by the time this episode's over, if I don't finish 4 of these, then I failed. So
let's get into it. Before we get into it, we've got some lovely folks here. I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Joe. Good morning, Joe, joining us all the way from Germany.
What up, Joe?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for waking up early. The best German fan ever of the Cardinals.
I would say somebody else would be offended by that, but I don't know too many German Cardinal fans. So shout out, Joe. Yeah, we'll just do the best fan from overseas. How about that? I'm sure he's the only one listening right now. So
probably. Everybody that's overseas, step your game up.
Yeah. If you disagree, Will's @ is live on that swing. Please send all of your disagreements to Will from here on out. Thank you.
So what was your initial reaction to the news?
While I was working, and my brother's like, "Did you hear DHop just got cut?" Like, what? Okay. A little disappointed we couldn't get anything for him, but I think at the end of the day, in the NFL, my biggest thing is
he's muted, but
he's muted. There we go. That's the way we like to have Will on here.
I will unleash Will when you're done with your sentiment.
Okay, so obviously it was a little disappointing we couldn't move him. I was more surprised, I think, that we didn't move him at the draft. I thought that was gonna be pretty evident that was gonna happen, especially when we were hearing that the Chiefs were involved, the Bills were involved. You figure there might be a little bit of a bidding war there for one of the better wide receivers in the league over the course of his career. And it just didn't come to be. He went on his little podcast tour talking about, he wants a stable, upper management because he hasn't had that last few years with the Texans and the Cardinals. So I think it was best to just kind of cut ties. You're a new GM, new coach. You're trying to set a foundation, a culture. You can't having someone go around, yapping the way he did. Look at Buda Baker, for example. He apparently requested a trade. He hasn't been going out there talking, basically doing a whole show for people, letting him know that he's available, that, he wants to be elsewhere, where that was the difference between Buda Baker and DeAndre Hopkins. And, hopefully Buda's here. But with DHop, I think the biggest thing is that he's off the books after this year. In the NFL, you could do rebuilds in 1 year. And the way the Cardinals are set up with 6 picks over the next 3 rounds next season, 2 firsts, could be 2 top 5 picks, a second, 3 thirds. I think they came to a point where they were like, you know what, we're good. Let's cut them off. This next year is obviously going to be a rebuild, retool year. But with all the assets we have, you getting his shedding DHop's money and cap space off of the cap entering 2024. I think that is going to be that's going to go a long way to trying to accelerate this rebuild for the Cardinals, so to speak.
Absolutely. Before I unleash Will, I do want to give my 2 cents. Initially, I was at work when I got the notification. It was actually our buddy Joe that's in the live. He texted me saying something like, "Leave me the fuck alone. We just cut DeAndre Hopkins." I was like, "What?" And I'm like, let me Google this real quick. Like you're fucking with me. So I looked it up. Sure enough, we cut him, and like my heart just sank. I was ready to jump off the 19th floor of the building I work at, and now I've come to terms with it. I'm at peace with it. Like you said, he went on a podcast tour. It's kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And I can't help but wonder if all this dysfunctionality and behind the scenes drama and, just locker room disconnect, everybody wants to pin that on Kyler Murray, but what if it was Hopkins all along? That's kind of what I'm feeling, is that maybe, he was just kind of being a diva, and it was just kind of leaving some bad blood in there, and it's just.
And who knows? Cliff Kingsbury's not really going to be the stern type. He's not going to come in there, and he's not going to have that voice to rally the troops around when things are falling apart. When you have a vocal guy like DHop and Kyler, I can see them kind of butting heads a little bit here and there, but they both, at the end of the day, they both want to win. So I'm just glad that we have a new regime in here. The DHop saga, it was 3 years. I would say mostly good. He only played 35 games with us over the course of 3 years. But that 2020 season was special. He set the franchise record with 115 receptions, over 1,400 receiving yards. So you can't just, shun him for being injured and being suspended. And, he wants to win. So, he's at a stage in his career where it's best if we just, separate, part ways, kind of like a divorce. Before you want to get super messy, just cut ties right there. And after this season, that salary cap, it's all going to be on this year. So I would like to think that 2024 is kind of that jumping off point for the Cardinals to hit a new gear and start a new a new rise to prominence, because it's been a down couple years, not even couple years. I guess, that just a season ago, the Cardinals were one of the better teams in the NFL, but that seems like a fucking million years ago, doesn't it? Fuck.
Right, Will?
I was there from the jump. I was here during the Steve Wilkes year, and I feel more. I feel like we're going to be better than that year, but I'm still not looking forward to this year at all, because I can tell we're going all in on a tank, and I don't really ever like that as a fan. I know at the end of the day, if we do tank, we'll probably be better off. That's just how leagues work, but it's never fun to be.
It's never fun to be a fan of the tank.
It's never fun to be a fan during the tank. I feel so bad for everybody who's buying season tickets, who's going to go out to games this year and see this product. Oh, your poor family. They're raising the prices on those season tickets, aren't they?
Hey, they're going to the away game though, right?
Yeah.
You're going
mostly to see my daughter, but might as well go to a game while they're here.
They're going to game one. You guys are all going to game one against Washington?
Yes, they're going to game one. I feel like that's going to be a dub.
Yeah, I think so. Washington ain't scary.
Fuck no.
No. But it'll probably be an ugly ass game. Come down to the final 20 minutes, see who can pull away, or final 15, fourth quarter.
There are people who look at major trades like this, like the DeAndre Hopkins trade, and say that there isn't really a winner if nothing gets done. And I think we still won that trade by a country mile. We still had success, if you want to call it that, when we had them.
Yeah.
We won that trade. I think that in a trade that there, 99% of the time there is a winner and there is a loser. I do not regret the DeAndre Hopkins era. I'm just sad it ended this way.
Yeah, no, to me it's not a failure if you're gonna ask the question, was this a failure? And it's like, no, because you're doing the most is what you can. You're trying to win, and you think by going out and getting the best wide receiver on the market for next to nothing. Why not? It was a valiant effort to try to be a competitor, and it kind of worked. But there is just so many variables when it comes to football that just things don't
Oh,
pan out the way you want it. Not it. You can kind of compare it to the DHop or the Kevin Durant situation with the Suns. But at the end of the day, I don't consider it a failure. I'm thankful for the time he was here. Glad he was here. But with a rebuild, a retool, whatever you want to call this, it's time to cut our losses with people that don't want to be a part of it.
DeAndre
it's
Hopkins was an instrumental part in one of the most fascinating eras of our history, and I'm glad we have him. Although I will say, of the DeAndres in the Arizonas, I was surprised it was him that went first.
mhm. The other one might not be too far behind. Let's just say
Let's
that. Hey,
pray.
shout out to Aaron, the truly bully, listening to
My
us on his
boy,
car ride home. What did I say?
the truly bully.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you corrected me. Oh, you said my
No, no.
boy.
I'm just saying that's my boy.
My boy, our boy. What up, though? Thank you for listening. He said we definitely won the trade. David Johnson, unfortunately, was washed, and Kime would have wasted that second rounder anyways. True that. And honestly, that 2021 season was magical there for a while. That just kind of felt special. Starting the season the way that we did. It's just a shame that DHop ended up getting hurt, and it just spiraled the way it did. But that gave us hope there as a city. After that Hail Murray, it kind of seemed like everyone kind of started buying in a little bit. And with Phoenix, it's such a fickle sports market. People aren't going to buy in. Currently, we're looking at it right now with the Diamondbacks. People are just now kind of like, oh, okay, they're in a playoff hunt. It's still early, but people don't really buy in here into this city, into these sports teams, until they've seen that it's actually a really good product.
This is a
Uh, so
this
that
is a
2021, it is just disappointing the way it ended because that felt special. That felt like Cliff Kingsbury was building something really, really special here. And it literally injuries decimated us at the end of that season. And last season obviously went the way it did for many reasons, starting with injuries.
this is a weirdly snobbish sports market for a
Yeah.
market that has like a World Series and a bunch
One
of
championship.
and like a bunch of WNBA titles and like Arena Football League
Arena
titles.
football. Don't forget the Rattlers.
Oh God.
I think there's a good diehard section of the fan base here.
Oh
but
yeah, don't get me wrong.
there really is. I know it's a cop out and saying
It's
it,
like
but
niche fans.
there's so much shit to do in Phoenix. Go hit up Scottsdale, go fucking hit up Glendale or whatever. Glendale's growing a little bit. There's just so much shit to do here, and if you aren't born and raised here, I understand that people aren't going to really buy in until
And I mean it's
they see
also
the product.
it's also inherently just kind of a a both retirement kind of state and also a transplant state.
Yeah.
So I mean, those
The
people.
transplant state, for sure. Yeah, no,
Fun fact.
those all play factors, and I mean, and
Jackie had a fun fact.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say fun fact. When we first got our season tickets, well, we've had season tickets in the 90s, stopped them for a while, got them back in 2012, and so when we first got them, we sat next to some Canadian Cardinals fans.
Oh,
They were from, I think, Montreal. They were super fun. They were huge Cardinals fans, so.
where was your guys' section when you had season tickets? Do you remember?
Or something. Oh, are you talking about Sun Devil Stadium?
Either, yeah. Where was Sun Devil Stadium?
I don't remember in Sun Devil Stadium. I just know I burned my.
Oh, you were a youngin', huh? You were born in the '90s, weren't you?
94, but yeah.
God
no,
damn!
I was like 4 or 5 years old, sitting on my dad's lap at games.
Will, you were born in the 2000s, right?
Yep.
Hey,
Before
one of every
9/11.
decade here. Look at us.
Before 9/11.
Okay, just making sure. But no, I think we're like section 107 now. If anybody ever wants to say hey, if I'm at a game.
I'm old enough that seeing our first round draft pick be younger than me is shocking.
Just wait till you've watched that guy's whole career and see him retire, and you're like,
I'll be like, damn, I'm 27.
Fuck. Right? Exactly. Yeah, there's so many players now. It's like, I witnessed your whole career, and I was an adult when you came into the league. Holy fuck.
1997, Aaron? Jesus Christ, I'm old.
William,
what was your reaction when you heard the DHop news?
I was a little shocked, and I was a little angry, and then I heard the justification, and I felt better. Seeing, okay, we're just going full on tank. This is what we're doing. It was discouraging at first, but I do think it is at the end of the day the best move. I do not think that this team is bad enough to be the number one pick, just given our assets and given who is here. I think it's going to be the Texans. Have you guys seen the Bucs quarterback battle? Oh my God, it looks awful. Kyle Trask versus Baker Mayfield. They're in contention.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a few teams that are willing to tank for Caleb to try to get that number one pick.
If we do get it, we instantly have trade bait.
We instantly have a conversation on our hands on what we're going to do if we get the number one pick. But like you said, yeah, we instantly have the best trade chip, as well. And I imagine next season one of those two picks will be traded, ours or the Texans. And then you keep one of them.
I think it's if Caleb Williams does live up to the hype, and that's a big if, because I feel like most of the times when we're talking this time of the year for next year's draft,
it changes.
That guy does not ever become the first overall pick. If the hype lives up and he is the second coming of Mahomes and he is this and he is that, I could see us having just an insane trade on our hands. I could see, 2 or 3 first round picks being traded to us for him.
It also depends on how Kyler's rehab goes, how he comes back. How he performs, how the new regime, feels that how he's, how they feel about Kyler. There's a lot of intervals for sure.
Here's the question. I don't think this is a sexy question, but I'm going to ask it. Do you think we even see Kyler Murray this year?
Yes.
Do you think? Yeah?
Yes. I think Kyler's a competitor, and I think the minute he gets cleared, he's going to want to be back out there. It's just a matter of if Gannon or whoever wants to put him back out there right away. But I think he's really gearing up towards wanting to play.
Do you think it would be a Kyler decision, or would it be a
it would be a franchise decision. I think that's
and that's something where if you're an athlete like Kyler Murray and they want you to sit the whole year, you want the fuck out of here. You want to be competitive. You want to go to a fucking team that, isn't going to ask you to sit out the whole year because you might be able to get in position to. He doesn't know. Is he truly going to believe if he sits out the whole year? Are you going to trade that pick, or are you going to draft that guy and try to trade me? Like,
that's
as a competitor,
exactly
as a competitor, I think if you tell Kyler he's sitting out next year, he's played his last game as a Cardinal.
Yes.
I don't think you're wrong there, but I think that's might be what happens if by,
that would be
October.
That would be some shit. I mean, I would like to think he'd be ready by the midway point.
But if by the midway point we're 2-6 and you are Monty Ossenfort and you are Jonathan Gannon and you see this season is essentially over, do you risk re-injuring your franchise quarterback, or do you put him back out?
I think you need to see how he performs in your system, at least how he took in the playbook, how he's responding to what you're asking. I think a new regime, a new head coach, an offensive coordinator, GM, if you're willing to trade that first overall pick, let's say we even get to that point, I know it's a little premature. I think you need to see Kyler on the field to see how does that knee hold up? How does he respond to your playbook, to your coaching? I would be shocked if that was the case, but it's
I disappeared. Sorry.
We talked massive shit about you behind your back. We're sorry. You're gonna see it on the playback.
Fuck both of you. Eat my.
Will, what are you drinking?
Agua.
Agua de mineral. Okay, I like you. Ice, no ice.
A singular ice cube because that's all we had left.
A big ice cube though.
A decent sized ice cube.
Average.
These are the extent of our conversations in the off season. How big is your ice cube? It's about
like 5 inches, about average.
Yeah, average. Due to inflation, 5 is the new 10.
Well, hey,
that's what I'm telling my team.
Lucky me. Nice. Yeah, I do think the DHop, my biggest thing, my saving grace is that he's off the books. Sure, a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, we could have maybe possibly got back. But I think if we were being offered a 3rd round pick, towards, some point in the draft, probably would have swooped it up. Probably would have made that trade if it was like, well, shit, all we're going to get is a 3rd, or
the thing I've been hearing is that we essentially had a deal locked up with Kansas City. And what happened was, as soon as the Ravens set the market price with OBJ, that was off the table.
Well, fuck.
That essentially paying OBJ $15 million.
Yeah, that was dumb as fuck by them. But
basically made it so that.
Yeah.
Well, now he can sign there for. Level. Yeah, which it's gonna be. Where do you? Let's say where do we think anyone in the chat right here? Let's get you guys involved. Where will DeAndre Hopkins land next year? I think the favorites are Chiefs and Bills.
Chiefs and Bills are the easy ones. I
am going to go Ravens. I'm going to mark this down. Whoever wins will get a shout out. DHop
lands. Suck your toes if Mac is right.
Hey, toes, hoes, and touchdowns. Follow our OnlyFans, baby.
Toes and hoes.
I'm looking at this list right now. I see 2 teams with a good bit of money that they can throw at them. I see.
Who's that?
The
Detroit?
Lions.
Yep. Detroit and who?
Oh, wait, no. The Jets have $24 million, so add them. And also the Bengals have $15 million.
Jets would be a great landing spot. You get fucking Aaron Rodgers, DHop right there with that defense. If they want to contend, I mean, you might as well fucking do that if you're the Jets.
I don't see Bengals because they've got Jamar Chase, they got T. Higgins, they are better off without him.
They need more pressing needs. Yeah,
the Ravens have only $11 million to work with, and I think that only works if you sign them for like a year, like 2 years.
That's the thing with the trade they were saying too, is that if he would have been traded to the Bills or the Chiefs, he would have had to done
contract.
Well, he would have done a reconstruction of the contract a little bit, and who knows?
I don't know where people are getting Chiefs from, because you want to know how much cap space they have?
Yeah, cap's a myth. We know this.
I know.
Yeah, if you want to sign one guy, you can make that shit happen. You can fluctuate numbers, backload them, whatever. So, like, if Baltimore, like, sure, they have $11 million, but they can guarantee fucking like all of it if they wanted to, and that comes out of cash, and you can manipulate the number. I'm just going Baltimore because they want to make Lamar Jackson happy, and Odell isn't gonna be that guy, pal.
He's not
I think it's the Jets because I think they have the most assets.
Okay, we got the Jets out of you. Okay, Will.
And
I think it's a good spot, honestly.
And I think that if they want to really just sell that this is an all-in year, that's how you do it. Because
Germany says Lions. Sorry.
With Zach Allen, they were a hair away from making the playoffs. Zach Allen, if they get DHop and pair him with A-Raj, they make a run, no question.
Then get bounced.
For sure.
But it's a good effort. I'm gonna say it's the Chiefs. I feel like they can like Aaron said, and I was gonna mention this too, but I guess the way Mahomes' contract is set up, that they can kind of move some money around and renegotiate that to get some assets in here. They are very in desperate need of a solid wide receiver one. I mean, they can get it done without a solid wide receiver one, but adding
shit, we saw this last year.
Yeah, exactly. Adding DHop to the equation, that's almost a guaranteed Super Bowl at this point. I don't see the Bills. I The thing with DHop for me is I feel like he wants to be wide receiver and one. No sharing the ball, no nothing. So I can't pair him with Stephon Diggs.
Well, see, I don't know if he can be wide receiver number one with the Chiefs either, because no matter what happens, Kelsey's going to be the number one man.
True, but I mean, he's a tight end, so.
True.
Yeah.
This is all going to feel very quaint in 10 years when a $500 million quarterback contract just is like the start, like the rookie contract.
Yeah.
It's always funny to look back at 15, 20 years ago, like, oh wow, this is the highest quarterback contract of all time. We paid him $50 million total.
Oh, like Randy Johnson, when Randy Johnson fucking signed his contract here, it was fucking like total of, I don't know, $50 million at $54 million. And you look at it now, you're like, my God, that guy won 4 Cy Youngs, brought a World Series here, 4 Cy Youngs in a row, and he's making less than $10 million. Nowadays, he'd be $200 fucking million guy. Yeah, just 20 years. Yeah, look at the difference. 15, 20 years. It's fucking crazy.
Inflation, baby. That's what I said. Fucking 3 inches is the new 6.
Aaron, you said that the Ravens would have the most expensive wide receiver room. I'm trying to do a little bit of research, but is that how's that possible? What do they got? They got Odell and then who else they got there? They got a bunch of rookies, don't they?
Mark Andrews, but that's a tight end, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to SPO track this fucking.
Rashad Bateman is Wi-Fi. Still there? Did they cut him?
Yeah, he's a rookie. He's on a rookie contract, so it wasn't Odell just a 1-year thing. They can still manipulate numbers all the way. So Lions would be interesting. I don't know, but he's saying he wants to play for an elite QB, and you go to Jared Goff, which I feel like the Lions are the Lions are one of those teams that could be either good or still be shitty. There's only it's hard for me to envision the Lions really being
have a team like
really
this every
good
year that looks awful from the jump and then figures it out midway through the year. And everybody's like, well, is this team the team that's going to make the jump? The Dolphins were that a few years ago.
They were. You're right.
The Broncos were that a few years prior with Drew Lock, which is very funny. There's always a team like this, and it's a big old hit or miss kind of thing.
Crapshoot.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot.
Basically, I think we win like 5 games. I don't think we're gonna win.
This is not a playoff team, but I also don't think this is a number 1 pick team.
No, we'll win like 5 games, and we'll win in stupid Cardinals fashion, like we always do somehow.
It's going to be classic Bidwell mediocrity, and I'm going to be bitching like, why haven't we picked up this player who was good 5 years ago from the free agency? He could turn this team around come week 3.
Yeah, you'll be like, this punter is available. We need to go get him. Fucking go get him.
Matt Ariza. Fuck him. Whatever. I guess he's acquitted.
How's your drink going? How's your drink going, Jackie?
Well, I'm feeling it now.
She's almost dancing. We're getting there. She's almost dancing.
I'm gonna start fucking singing and dancing.
This tripper poll is gonna come on down and be like, okay, Patreon subscribers only. Boom.
Yep, send me money, bitches. No, I've had like this much to drink.
I need to hurry up. I got one down. Okay, I got another one right there.
Chug, 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 chug.
Well, let's do body shots.
Body shots off my own titty.
What? Anyways,
Johannes is saying he's glad we don't have primetime games because of how late it'll be. I'm glad too, but it also means I probably won't be able to watch NA.
Yes.
Come on, Joe, you're just sounding like an old man. Oh, I'm glad we don't have any primetime games.
Waking up at 2 a.m. isn't fun.
Okay, you're a fan of a different team on a different fucking continent across the whole fucking world. If I was a fan of a soccer team in, Bungasklava, I'd probably record that shit, I like you. I don't know.
To be fair, that specific
I'm
game,
kidding, Joe. I love you. Joe.
We were down like 28-10 before halftime on Halloween. I stayed home from Halloween that night to watch that game.
Whoa.
That was scary. Trick or treat, bitch.
What were you dressed up as, Will? Just sitting there on the couch
I
watching?
don't even remember, man. This was
I
years
was dressed
ago.
up like Beetlejuice. Anyways,
Well,
I was supposed to go to that game too. My dad called me, was like, "You want to go to the game tonight?" I'm like, "Dad, I'm at work and I'm dressed like fucking Beetlejuice." And he goes, "So who gives a shit?" I'm like, "I do. I want to go home and change." And I didn't go. Biggest regret of my life, but still.
That was your biggest regret?
No.
That game?
that was the biggest.
Actually, no. I lied. That game was, we played the 49ers and we almost won. Andy Isabella had that sick ass catch, but we didn't win.
Oh.
That's the game I'm thinking of. Never mind. Ignore me.
I totally even forgot Andy Isabella existed.
As a person, yes.
Oh, what a shitty draft class that fucking was, wasn't it?
For
Holy
us,
fuck.
not for everybody else.
Shout out to Akeem Butler. Isn't he getting workout?
XFL or something. He's doing really well.
I thought I heard Pittsburgh was interested. Am I lying?
I think he made a camp.
Yeah. No, I mean, he was really good in that XFL. But yeah, that was the draft class where only Kyler Murray stands for the Cardinals 2019. I was so hyped about those wide receivers too. I thought for sure Hakeem Butler was going to hit, but whatever.
I thought Keyshawn Johnson was going to hit. Boy, were we wrong. Boy, aren't you glad Steve Keim isn't our fucking GM anymore.
I feel like that should be like the end of like some joke. Boy, aren't you glad Steve Keim still isn't here. Like, oh yeah, fuck Steve Keim. Oh, Steve Keim.
I guess to move on. Have we heard anything about OTAs? What's going on?
I haven't heard anything about ours. I with OTAs, it's always so tricky because every year we hear like, oh yeah, this
person's sitting out.
Either this person's sitting out or this rookie is the second coming of Christ, and it's like we never hear about a really bad rookie from our media. Our media, you can really tell it's an access thing because it's never, oh, this is kind of suspect. This guy's having a really funky OTA. It is, this guy is the next guy to look out for. He is Christ on a cracker. He is the next guy.
Christ on a cracker.
So Aaron commented, he said, Odell, Bateman, Andrews combined salary of $32 million this year. Add in DHop, so that'd be like top three. I wasn't even thinking about Andrews either, so that would make sense. That's still, even right now, Andrews, Bateman, Odell. I don't even know if that's a top 15 wide receiver core. Sometimes you have to spend, and somebody's going to spend for DHop one way or the other. So we're going to go back real quick. So DHop landing spots, I have Baltimore. Will has the Jets. Joe Germany has the Lions. Aaron was non-committal, so he picked the Bills Chiefs. Jackie picked the Chiefs. Anybody else?
It's only my two friends that join. Shout
No,
out.
we can make up. I got Bill here said going back to the Cardinals. I got Joseph, not Germany, says Green Bay. I'm just making up names here, so just edit that part out. So when we do the radio version of the audio, we are live here with our second AZ Sports Underground compilation with the Redbird Redzone podcast. We are happy to be here. I am Mac. That is Jackie, the pretty little face out the bottom. The back face is your one and only Will. Thank you for joining us, Will. And I appreciate how, I think your first comment was right when you got in here. You're late as all can be, but you said so. Oh, God, I have to go back. But you said something about promptness or something like that. And I just thought it was kind of ironic. But so there's the three of us here, and we are happy to be with you guys. And we'll be moving forward here. It's the off season. It's kind of like the dog days of the football off season right now, but there are still a lot of things in the works, and still going to be, Jackie mentioned OTAs coming up. We're going to have training camp right around the fucking corner. So stick with us.
It's going to be here before you know it. It's already fucking June. Where is the time gone? We're getting old. And
Joe
we're
said it's
supposed
June
to-
already for him. So there we go. It's already June in the world. You know, time is linear. So it could be June here right now, and they're just off by a couple of days on the calendar. We don't know. But we are here with you. We're excited to get this season going. I think this is what, our third, fourth season together?
Ours is our third. Is it our fourth?
Really?
No, Will. Me and you've been here.
was when I joined with you guys.
Will, me and you were here for the Rosen year, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
And then Jackie jumped in Kyler's rookie year.
Yep.
And then the ratings just took off, and now we're on AZ Sports Underground. Who would have thought? Ah!
Yeah, you would have thought I showed boobs or something of the way our viewers went.
Hey, those are episodes 10 through 15, but too bad it was all on the podcast, so nobody saw them but yourself and your husband.
Wow, we were so lucky, man. Oh man, what great days.
Yep, boobs were there. You just couldn't see them.
And when I did those unicycle tricks, oh man, those were really cool. You guys were the only ones who saw them.
Yep.
We didn't. We
shot ping pong balls out of his asshole. You guys missed it.
While chugging the beer bong.
Yep. And reciting the ABCs backwards.
And that time I beat Mike Tyson. Yeah, and it was just right there, you know.
When I joined this podcast, I just want to say, I don't know what kind of rabbit hole you guys were going down, Will, but I'm trying to get beer here. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry.
So good. This is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
This is what we do, folks. If you're new here, if you're just tuning in,
we might have 5 minutes left on this episode. I said I got to drink 4 to match Jackie's big ass 10% volume.
I'm like right here right now.
I don't give a fuck. I'm finishing these 2. What else we got on the agenda, Miss Jackie?
Huh? Don't hold them. Bang them together. Tug.
I literally just changed these fucking blankets on this couch because I got so many goddamn cats here.
Shotgun.
Don't say we didn't entertain you guys.
I'm trying to figure out this is okay.
Yeah, no, angle's good. All right, the beers are cracked.
Yeah, we are in a much better state than we were that first year. Good Lord.
In through the nose, out through the mouth. Woosah.
Woosah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
No, that been. I'll do one at a time. I will chug this one.
One at a time.
Let's go.
Woo!
Chug, 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 chug.
Chug, 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 chug.
You're female and you're listening. You show us jugs. Just kidding.
Okay. Wow. Oh, excuse me. That was not.
Here's the question: since this is the off season,
good night.
Okay, which Cardinals do you think you could outdrink?
Oh my God.
Let's start with Kyler Murray. I feel like I can drink him under the table.
I feel like Kyler gets drunk off of a true.
Why does he always get thrown under the bus? These fans, these media.
Guy. Let's be.
You go straight to Kyler. That's fucked up.
Give him a Truly.
I feel like he's a wine kind of guy.
I could
Will
see
thinks
that.
he's a Truly's guy. I think he's like a wine Pinot Gris. Fancy.
I could definitely drink
And
Greg Dortch under the table.
There is no way he goes to Oklahoma for 3 years on fucking Pinot. Absolutely not. He is like a Truly or a Twisted guy.
Yes, I could see the Twisted Teas now that you mention it. You know who I don't think I can drink under the table?
Will Hernandez.
Him. That's probably my fucking cousin, to be honest with you.
Hey, I'm going out Paso next week. I'm gonna look for the Will Hernandez mural.
I feel like Licky Fotu could like drink a whole Budweiser truck.
Oh my God!
He could put some away. I feel like Dennis Gardeck can put him away.
Oh my God! Yeah, any of those guys. I went to. I think I've told the story to Will. I don't think Jackie, I'm sure I brought it up probably that first season you were on. Do you guys remember the story of going to Antrell Roll's house?
Yeah, I think so.
You remember that, Jackie, at all?
Vaguely.
Don't.
So in college, I know we were talking about a couple months ago, actually toward the end of last season, after the Cardinals got blown out after a game. Jackie had me tell the story when we threw a kegger in Larry Fitzgerald's neighbor's backyard. Yeah, that was So same era. So think about that. Mac as an early 20-year-old. So I get a call from a buddy, and he's going to ASU, and he meets a buddy in ASU. We all become friends or whatever. So during, I think it was during the fall, because it was during the Cardinal season. It was during a bye week. It was 2008. It was the year we went to the Super Bowl. I had season tickets. I get a call from a buddy Friday night, like my best friend, and he's like, "Yo, Eddie's fucking. We're all going over to Entree Rolls. Fucking, Eddie invited everyone. Let's go. Like, get ready to roll." And I'm like, stoned as fuck. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. Like, let's fucking go. So we go, and so Eddie was a dude from Miami who went to ASU and happened to be randomly family friends with Entree Roll. So he comes out to ASU. Entree's family friends with them. Keeps in contact with Eddie because he wants to make sure Eddie's good, like legit, like good family friend with them. We show up to Entree's house. They open the door. It's fucking Entree Roll and Drew Rosenhaus introduce themselves as we walk in. Drew Rosenhaus is wearing a D. Rosenhaus polo. So it's this mother with like these little Nike like tennis shoes on and shit, like dorky motherfucker, but you're like, holy fuck. Okay, this is going down right now, right?
Yeah.
So we're there, and there were a few dudes, fucking Eric Green. It was dudes from the secondary of that 2008 team. Eric Green, Rod. Oh, fuck, why can I not think of his name? Dude had a really, really good year that year. I think he returned 2 INTs to the house. Fuck, why can't I think of fucking his name? Chill-ass dudes. Super, super cool all the way around. But they had a Kansas City Chief, former Kansas City Chief dude who was a free agent at the time, linebacker. And this motherfucker, the way he was chugging the Grey Goose bottle was the way I just chugged that beer. Literally, like, we were all like, oh my God. No wonder he's a free agent right now. That literally, he drank that shit like chocolate milk. Fucking, we were just like, okay. But to make a long story short, my dumbass fucking peeled open a blunt on Entree's fucking driveway and fucking put the tobacco out on his driveway. But we asked him, like, hey, can we smoke weed in your house? He's like, just go in the backyard. That's all I asked. Like, cool. Like, and it got to a point where I was fucked up. We were all faded. I'm swimming in Entree Roll's pool in my fucking chonies. Literally in my chonies doing my buddies tell the story to this day, Sean and fucking Eddie. Yeah, Max doing backstrokes, butterflies, like in our temple. There's fucking women in there, ASU fucking women, fucking titties out, fucking just da. And here I am just behind them, like, and fucking like I guess like another dude was like supposedly while I'm swimming, and the story is I'm swimming doing backstrokes and shit. These chicks got their titties out at the fucking hot pool, the hot tub right there, and like some like kid is just like, 20 years old, 18 years old, fucking just checking these chicks out. And she turns to him, she's like, "What, motherfucker? You never seen titties before?" And they said that as she said that, here I am just like butterfly, like right behind her and shit, like spitting fucking fountains out, fucking. And then Entree, he ended up taking both of those chicks into the shower. So from that point on, the night got pretty X-rated. But Entree got mad at me because I was dancing on his living room rug, barefoot, and he said my feet were dirty. Like, yo, homie, your feet dirty. I'm like, what? My feet are dirty? Like, yeah, get off the rug. So I get off the rug, and he like takes off his like fucking coffee table, moves his fucking his couch. Him and a buddy roll up the rug and put the rug away, and then fucking that was basically the dance floor right there. But to make a long story short, that was my Entree Roll. That was my most favorite night of my life. Like, that's something, like, who fucking parties with people, some of their favorite team. Like, Cardinals are my favorite team. Growing up, huh? No, I get married. October 29th. So I can tell this story exactly the way I did until that day, because that was
I was
literally
responding
my
to
most
the
favorite night. Yeah, my most favorite night ever was literally that night. And I remember like it was why can't Rod? God damn it!
Wait, it wasn't LaRod
Roderick
Hood.
Hood. Right? I'm sorry, Roderick Hood. Rod Hood.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we were all chilling around the kitchen table. We're all faded or whatever. And Rod Hood was right there. And he returned an INT. I think it was Rod Hood who returned an INT like a few weeks back to the house in a game. And I said something like, yo, man, you got to return an INT to my fucking end zone. You know, literally that next week he returned an INT to our end zone. Fucking nuts.
Yes.
Literally fucking. And Antrell told me, he's like, yo, bro, let's stop talking about football. That's why we invited you guys all over here. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. Love you, Antrell. Sorry. So. So that was, yeah. I've lived a crazy life.
Jelly. Peanut butter and jelly. I did have the opportunity to party with Patrick Chung once after they won the Super Bowl.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. My homies got invited to a sandbar at Desert Ridge. He had a cabana there. Invited some people from my work. I worked at Whole Foods at the time. Sadly didn't go. Got all the pictures of my friends just partying with him. So big regret, but lesson learned.
So you didn't go? Oh, you had a chance to?
I had a chance to. I just didn't go. But lesson learned: if Patrick Chung invites you to hang out at his cabana at Sandbar Desert Ridge, that's no longer there, you go.
Oh yeah, nice. Damn that. So that was Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl weekend. He was actually really cool because he would come into my Whole Foods.
Damn, they lost. That's the game they lost, right, against the Giants.
No, this was 2014, 15.
Okay. Oh, the Seahawks.
They played the Seahawks.
Oh wow!
I thought we were gonna have a home Super Bowl. My dad actually had tickets to the Super Bowl. Ended up selling them.
Oh, I totally forgot you were born in '94. So that Super Bowl 09 or whatever, you'd have been 15, so you couldn't have gone to San Diego.
Or 08 rather.
I was like 13, 14-ish.
Yeah, for that one. Okay.
Some shit.
Shit, you guys get the fun stories. The most I can say is I met like the aunt of a fullback for the Cardinals once.
I made out with a ASU cornerback's mom at a bar before. That was pretty cool. Grabbed her ass. Yeah. Her and her friend came over after the bar, and I guess the mom was like dating some dude, but he's a fucking total asshole or something. So like the friend was wanting us to like kind of hook up like the whole time that we're at this bar. So smoke weed? Like, yeah. So they came over, and the whole time like the boyfriend was blowing up the ASU mom's phone. But yeah, so I made out with the ASU player's mom's mom, so that's kind of cool. I won't say his name,
concept.
but yeah, mom had a big old booty. Ooh, ooh.
We have strayed too far.
We have. Are we still live? Oh,
we're still live, uncut, raw, unrated. Before we get out of here, I did want to touch on if anybody knows Mike Florio is like the biggest Cardinals hater right now.
The thing that my speculation is Steve Keim was his source, and now that Keim is gone, he doesn't have a source, so he's fucking mad.
So you go, what was this shit he came out with today?
Like he was like, if Caleb Williams is the first overall pick, does he even want to be a Cardinal?
It was that. It was he had Howie Roseman on his podcast talking.
And Howie Roseman was talking shit to him too. Yeah.
Was like, you're the biggest conspiracy.
Get over it. Yeah. Fucker. Yeah. If an NFL GM is telling you that, get the fuck over it.
Yeah. The thing that happens these days with sports journalism, especially if you are somebody who breaks news
on Twitter,
is that if you don't have access to break the news before anybody else, you instantly have less incentive to try to break it. You see that with like Woj, for instance. Woj never gives the Suns good coverage because he doesn't have a source in that office.
So I can see that. But I don't know how that helps his case in trying to get his foot in the door with the organization.
I don't think. I mean, I think he recognizes that he doesn't have a chance to. So I think
and so he's
going
just
first.
out. Yeah, yeah. No, fuck that. I gotta follow that guy. Maybe like the first 3 times he just brought up like nuanced bullshit about the Cardinals. I gotta follow that guy, but he literally pops up on my timeline a couple times a week. Like what?
He's got a fucking agenda against Kyler, and the shit pisses me off. The whole like, oh, the coaches shouldn't be going to his statue unveiling before the draft. Like, fuck you.
Oh, it's everything. Yeah, like how is you have fucking how many?
No, I mean a week,
hundreds of thousands fucking of followers, and you get like 20 fucking likes on a tweet.
A week before the draft, your big board is set. You have a general idea of who you're gonna draft.
And they crushed the draft. They basically shut that bitch up.
Yeah,
absolutely crushed that. Yeah. Yeah, Cardinals knew what they wanted to do heading a week into that. You know what I mean? Like they obviously showed that they were willing to be able to fucking trade and fucking do these pieces, and they made it work. And just the negative coverage keep coming out. Yeah, I agree. Will there's something where his source is gone, and now this is the way he acts like a little fucking child.
Yeah, this shit is so petty to me, and like. Just blowing the tampering thing out of proportion, they make it sound so malicious when it's really just a big fucking oops on our part. But just think that we're doing all kinds of fucking cheating.
Especially when the fucking Eagles GM owner comes out and is like, "Yo, this is behind us. Why are you still talking?
Why are we talking about this?"
And then he's like, that makes you look suspicious. Like what? What? To who? You? Who the fuck are you?
For it to be us, a team that let's face it, most of the NFL does not care about. For him to have that kind of a hate boner for us, no, that is malice.
Yeah,
that is somebody specifically screwed him over, and this is his petty vengeance.
Hey, Will, can I just ask, we need a new segment in here this year, and I've been thinking maybe it is if Monty Ossenfort is smart, he will.
You did.
You did. I didn't even think about it. If Monty Ossenfort is smart, he will. Oh, dot, and then Will jump. Damn, I like it.
Be the GM with Will.
I didn't even think about the Will. Look at me. 3.5 beers deep. Look at that. We're just. So next episode, I want you to think: if Monty Ossenfort is smart, he will what?
He will pay off Mike Florio right now. He'll pay him $20 to shut the fuck up.
He will pay off my college loans.
He will pay off my college loans and make me a scout.
I like it. We need a Will segment, Jackie, this year. We need a Will segment.
We're getting a Will segment.
Yep.
I'm keeping my Big Dick Player of the Game segment. So with that being said, Big Dick Player of the Offseason so far.
Thank you.
Is Kyler Murray for being more active on social media, looking happy, looking healthy, getting back on his rehab grind. I love it. Mac, what's going to be your segment then?
Well, I know last year we kind of had Mac's stats of the week.
Stats with Mac,
so, I will. Yeah, I don't know. Mac's stats of the week.
Keep chugging, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy needs to keep chugging, and you chug a beer. I don't know.
So I don't know. My one stat.
I'll get my.
So I'll have maybe one stat of the week right now. Yeah, I guess if you guys want to use me as a chugging pawn for your game, we can do that. But
if anybody's still listening to us drunk bullshit rant,
thank you.
Comment and give us ideas for segments this year because we fucking need them.
Let's do it. Yeah, you guys are with it. You guys are on the bottom right now with us.
Yeah,
right here.
You guys are a part of this journey with us.
Yeah, we want this shit. You know, we care about the
slander.
Yeah, exactly. We care about the Cardinals. You know, we try to do our research. We try to make things enjoyable. It's a little bit more different of a podcast than your normal everyday folk. But we do want to know what kind of makes you guys interested and stuff. So we're definitely more than welcome to ideas. So my one stat of the week would be DeAndre Hopkins, week 1 of 2020, his first season with the Cardinals. He had 14 catches, which is damn near 7.5% of his catches in his Cardinal career, all in week 1 right there. And then in his first season, he had over 50% of his catches and reception yards with the Cardinals. Over 16 games, he ended up playing 35. Over 50%, of his catches and receptions were in that first season. DHop did give us some special moments. Unfortunately, he got injured. Unfortunately, he got suspended. Unfortunately, he acted the way he did and wanted the way out, and he is out. But this is a start of a stepping stone for not only the Cardinals' new regime, organization, but for us as a podcast, AZ Sports Underground. We're combining. So let us know. We are open to ideas. Thank you guys for being here, joining us. We're not the biggest podcast, but we try to make it fun. We try to get the people involved, and we appreciate all of you. We're open to suggestions. This is the dog days of football season, so let us know what you think would make it a little bit more entertaining. Whatever, we're here. This is the beginning. You guys are here from the beginning right now with us. You are seeing our faces, so let's do it. Let's do it together.
Y'all.
Yeah, we'll do it together.
This is my real face,
and that's Will's real face. Yeah, no, Aaron said that he would like to have me do a small dick player of the game, so I will be doing small dick player of the game.
We do that in losses.
Yes. So, with that being said, I gotta say that small dick player of the off season's got to be DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, baby! Bye,
bitch. But yeah. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Obviously you tune in for Will for the sex appeal, Mac for the knowledge, and my dumbass for, my dumbassness.
Stop. Only one thing here has sex appeal, and it is not a bag over his head. They're here for the drinking for me. Will, they love to hear crazy college boys go crazy.
Our resident pessimist.
our resident college tings enjoyer.
I realized, Will, that I was a little rough on you last episode. I like to apologize. So there you go.
It's all love here, guys. All right. Are we ready to wrap up?
Yeah. Always wrap up, folks. No matter if you've known it for a week, a day,
a year.
Wrap up. And that's what we're about to do right now. Let's hit it.
All right. This has been yet another spectacular episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. I was fashionably late this time. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing.
And I'm Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZ Sports Fiend. That's FIEN. Special thank you to Jackie for setting all this up. Without her, none of this would be possible. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Uncle Joe. We're going to start calling Joe Uncle Joe, I think. But thank you guys all. Thank you, Johannes. Happy June 1st in Germany. Aaron, thank you for listening to us on the ride home. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you.
Yes. I love you guys. You are all my boys.
We can't do this without you guys, and we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this ride.
Exactly. Couldn't said it better myself. My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at jsandiego. That is with 2 O's. This has been a Max Hall production and an Arizona AZ Sports Underground production. My apologies. And we are out.
Peace.
Good night, guys.
See ya.
And cut.